Okay, so now I've got the stick going. All right, so we start off with just some nice little sort of broad strokes along the medial arch there, along the spine area. I'm just using some nice broad strokes there. You can see my finger right at the end there for good control, and holding the other foot at the front of the toes there. And we're just working along there. Now down the lateral side. So we're really warming up the foot with the stick here. So you just turn the foot over like that. Again, this feels really lovely to do, to have done. That's lovely to do as well, I guess. Okay, so now you can see I'm just working along those channels, helping the lymphatic system, chest area. So we're just working between the channels. I don't go all the way up to the ankle. Stop before the bone, you feel the bone. So here's another angle as I slow it down. So the first ones are a little more superficial, not as deep. Now I'm starting to do pressure point works and slower. So we're getting a better depth. So you see how far I go up there. I'm not going up and banging onto the bone. So just along there. By the way, these points in this channel here, the liver points for Chinese medicine, super powerful points. Liver 2, liver 3, very, very powerful points, great for headaches. So then we move on, and you see I just bend the toes down slightly, opens that up area. I've got my fingers underneath the balls of the toes there, and just press down and sort of lifting up there, and it just opens those channels up nicely to get good access. So you can see I'm just doing pressure points. You can do pressure points right along the channels. You just see that there, working along there, slowing it down, doing pressure point work. And then on the fourth channel between the fourth and fifth toe. And there's a really strong gallbladder point right at the end of that channel there. Another great spot for headaches. So we're just working backwards and forwards. So you can see I've got my finger right at the tip of the stick there. So it gives you really great control. And then once you work that, just some nice broad strokes again after you've finished that work. Now, this is a press and a flick. You see that? I flick it across to my finger. You see that? Now, my finger is on the lateral side of the toe, and I press and then flick. Press, flick. As we go along. Press, flick. Press, flick. These are all your frontal sinus points. And again, press, flick, as you work along there. So it flicks in, hits into your finger. It's nice, a little stimulating, that's nice with the flick to it, because it's just a little stimulate, like a little, different sensation. Now, start to do some nice little turns. Really work into the balls of those toes there, the pads. You can see I'm grabbing the top of the foot there and supporting with my finger of my left hand behind the toe there. And you see it's got good control. You see I'm right at the end of the stick with my hand, and so we're not going to slip off. You can see everything's always really well supported. And now along the top, I'm going to press down. Now, of course, like I've said before, you could make these, repeat them. You could do longer presses, etc. Now, you see this? I've hooked my finger around on the right. Oh, we just finished that. But you can see that I'm using it as a pivot. See my finger there, the forefinger with the stick? And then come down and around. Now we're going to do some nice deep pressure points between the bones here of the toes. You see, I also just pull the toes back to get better access each time. And now down we go through here. Now you see my left thumb gives support there. You see that? And I'm sliding down there. 3 different lines. Lateral, central, medial. It's really nice to get this done. You see that? I've got really good control. And then we're doing crisscross across the foot, and then we're just going to work down. Now you see here, we're working across the top of the heel there and down. And again, you see I've got my finger hooked there, so I've got really good control, stabilizing the top. And now we're going to do the same thing down the toes. You see I've hooked my right finger, my forefinger on the right hand, between the toes. See how I hook in there with the toe? And then my other hand helps guide it. And you pull the toes back just a bit to give you better access. You see that? We're going down the toe. Now I remind you, this is a little foot of my 9-year-old son, so it's a little cumbersome, a little tricky, especially with my handmade stick, because normally it'll be a little bit finer, but we managed to do it okay. But so my apologies for having such tiny toes, but that's what a 9-year-old son has. But it, in a way, and so we're just pressing along these now, and again, see how I'm supporting. There's no way anything is going to be slipping off anywhere. But it is a good challenge to have to do, smaller feet like I'm doing here, because it really makes you work with, you're having to, work with smaller feet. You have to really have to concentrate. And by the way, he loved it. You'll see how deep I'm working with a lot of these strokes. Now, so here we're going across the base of the toes here. You see how I hook my finger in and come across. Very much like the flick across the top. We work the neck area there. It's quite a little flick, just like we've done on the top of the toes. Going back. And we keep working through there. All right, now here's, just another angle, as we're going to work down again through the feet. And again, you'll see the thumbs are together there, holding it down. All right, so now I've got a pencil grip, and I'm just working into that. It's just behind that bone that you feel on the outside there. And also around here, around the ankle, the Achilles tendon. So the areas where we work with our fingers and knuckles and that sort of thing, we're really now getting much deeper stimulation with the stick here. Again, really feels lovely. And again, I'm just working up here. Stimulating all along the lateral border there. And it's a little hard. I'm just doing basically exactly the opposite on this medial side here, working around that ankle. Sorry about the angle of the camera on this one, but it's the same as we were doing before. Now, nice deep work where the spinal region is here, along that medial arch. Again, with a pencil grip, just working down there. And now, we're going to work deeper and deeper. Now, as the foot's all softened up, we've been working it for a long time now, with both the hands, the knuckles, and the stick. You see that? Just going to pushing through using my thumb. You see that? Change the grip and then just push it, push it, push it. Just work all through that solar plexus area. This is fantastic for that solar plexus area for breathing. Just really lovely. And now we're just going to work all the way up through this between these bones. Come out of this treatment floating on air. Like I was saying before, you can see, I'm not doing lightweight treatment here. This is, I say, on my 9-year-old son, and he absolutely loved it. He was completely happy. All right, now watch this carefully. Going down the lateral border of the big toe, and then I push it against my finger. You see that? And I'm coming up on the second toe there. And then twist in the webbing. All right, let's watch this again. See my finger goes between the toes, down on the second toe now, and now I'm coming on the third toe, working along the side of the third toe, and then twist in the webbing at the end. There. Here we go again. I'm working on the third toe, the lateral edge of the third toe, and then come and press it against where my finger is. The toe is getting wedged in between the finger and the stick. That's it. And then twist. It's going to take a little bit of practice to get this. Again, this is super tricky with my little son and my kind of oversized homemade Thai stick, but again, it's all good practice. Now just going backwards again, give you a good look at this. To the side of the toe, side of that toe, and twist the webbing. So, pressing against my finger there, towards my finger, sort of wedging it in, and then 1, 2, and then down and up and down. On the other side of the big toe now, and twist. And just soften them up, give a little bit of massage, you see there. All right, so we do some nice deep twists, working down the foot here on the lateral border of the lateral line of the foot there. So as I said to you in the course when we first started, you can see nothing's getting missed here. This is, we are really working. There's not a spot on that foot that's going, hey, I missed out here. So nice little drilling. This is so nice to get done. And then to finish those off, a really nice broad stroke with the side of the stick. Yeah, just working down there, just after that deep, deep work, just nice. It really stimulate everything. And then across the wheel. You can see how I've got my finger just go as we go across there. A little bit of massage for the foot. And now I'm just working those channels again. This time, before I pulled the stick through, now I'm like a pen, I'm pushing it through. So if you understand, if you go back through this video, so I'm actually sort of almost like writing, using a pen sort of thing like that, as I push, push, push through those channels. And now working those points on the side of the big toe, and through the neck area, really working those points on the big toe there. And we work down. And see that just working down through here again. It's giving that heel a real workout. Again, this is we did it before pulling and sort of pushing through there now. Okay, we're doing some crisscross action here. Now doing a crisscross through the foot. You can see both my thumbs here. My left thumb is pushing it across there. You see that? You can see my left thumb is helping as it comes across. What's going on? So the left thumb pushes it across, and they're working together. Again, this takes a little bit of practice. And then we're just down there, using that down through the heel there, and across it. As I said, you don't have to do all of this. I'm showing you a whole lot of different techniques. You see that little flick there, flicking across the heel there. If you want to do a shorter treatment, you wouldn't have to put them all in, but I wanted to give you a lot of techniques that are used in Thailand. So if you want to do an hour or an hour and a half, you've got a whole heap of techniques in your toolbox. All right, once again, we're pushing up, pushing up, pushing up. You see that there. My little boy's bottom of his foot would be like as soft as a marshmallow after this treatment. And we're just doing little squiggles on the top of the toes there. Just working the base of the toes. The same flick technique as we used to top. You see, I tucked the finger in. The same flick technique as we used on the top, and just working through these toes there, and there we go. Oh, I love getting this one done, down through that big toe there. And it's just rotating it there. Rotating onto the pads. Okay, so now we're going to stimulate the foot. So I'm using the side of the stick here. So we just stimulate the whole foot there. And now I use the large end, the butt of the stick, the larger end. And just work through the whole foot. Again, I don't need to tell you, this feels fantastic. And then I use the smaller end. So we kind of softened it up with the side, then we use the blunter end, then we use the sharper end. And I just stimulate everything, gets everything innovative, everything's excited and you stimulate it and gets that energy moving. You know, I'm sure you had a massage when someone does the deportment, as they call it, whether it's a karate chopping or just palms or soft fists, whatever, you feel it just really stimulates and it's no different on the feet. So I'm really just working all around there, stimulate all of these reflex points. If they weren't already woken up, they will be now. Now I changed my grip slightly. I've got a backhand grip now just to get down to the heel there. So just change your grip for whatever you need, you know, for whatever part you're doing. Now this is in the soft area here. So I'm going, you know, and so I'm missing that bone on the side of the foot. So you'll see here, these are in the soft fleshy areas. That's why I'm using quite a bit of force. Now see how okay, that's in the bone of the ankle, the heel there, heel, not the ankle. So back it off on the bone, all right? So you see that where it's fleshy, plenty of pressure, but you know, where it's bone, close to the skin, you want to back it off definitely. It's just going to be uncomfortable. So into those channels, plenty of pressure. Soft fleshy part up there. That's soft and fleshy underneath the ankle. And same thing on the medial side. And a little bit of massage there. To finish it off, give my little boy a bit of massage. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you use the Thai massage stick.